to time. Now, the virtual machines may be running, but your ability to manage those virtual machines may be impacted. So this Restart Management Agents link down here provides a way for you to disconnect the remote management software and then reconnect it so that you can figure out, well, what happened with that connection between VC and ESXi. A lot of times this Restart Management Agents could be your first line of defense for actually solving a problem that you see. Lastly is this Modify ESXi Shell Timeout element here. This will actually modify the amount of time that your shell logons are automatically disabled. So if you want to put them in here for, I don't know, if I enable the ability to log on to the shell, well, maybe I want to automatically disable that logon after a certain number of minutes. This ensures that if I forget to do that, well, then it's going to go ahead and automatically disable that at some point into the future. By default, it's set to not disable at all. So there is no timeout whatsoever. But if you set a timeout here, this will automatically set it to 60 minutes or 120 minutes or whatever to, again, protect that ESXi host from being hacked after the point at which you're done making use of it. Now, for those of us that don't like to dig into the command line areas of our vCenter environment, we still have the vSphere client. And more often than not, if you're doing troubleshooting, you're probably working with VMware and VMware's troubleshooting support, their technical support group, in figuring out why you're having the problems that you are. Now, many times they may ask you to, for one of the elements here, to actually go ahead and export some diagnostic information that you'll use to give to them so they can figure out what's going on. If you go into the File menu here and Export, you'll see Events and then System Logs, as well as some other things here as well. If you go down here to System Logs, this provides a mechanism for you to actually export the system logs for different hosts or for an entire cluster full of hosts that you would then give to, for example, VMware to help them troubleshoot. You see I can include information down here from vCenter Server and from the vSphere client. And then I can select the system logs that I want to send. Well, there's a whole bunch of system logs, as you can see here. Those I can then click a little further to identify if there's even more detail that I want to provide. If there's performance data that they require, I can click this box here to gather the performance data and send that off to them as well. Once I'm done, I need to set a download location for where I want to collect those logs, just somewhere here on this server, and that'll go ahead and create a log bundle that you'll ultimately then probably FTP up to VMware to give them the information they need in assisting you with the whole troubleshooting process. Be aware of this. It will probably be a common process that you'll need to do anytime you're working with VMware and their troubleshooting support. Now, there are a couple of different things I mentioned that were sort of miscellaneous things that hadn't gotten brought up in previous nuggets that I want to bring up here in this troubleshooting nugget because they become useful for